Over the last 6 months, we have accomplished so much in this space. Everything has come together so beautifully. And today we are ticking off another item on our to-do list.
Good as I can get it. That does look really good. I mean, it's not perfect, but for what it is.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Be happy. You did a good job. All right. I think that if I had a dime for every single time throughout this renovation process I have said, I am so impressed by blank, I would have a significant amount of cash to my name now, but I am so impressed with how well the trim turned out, and I am very impressed by how well Stuart trimmed around the rounded corners. It was really, really tricky. It took a lot of finessing, a lot of very careful measurements, a lot of back and forth from the grinder or the sander, and then back inside and then back again, making sure that it was a perfect fit. He was the perfect man for the job. If there's anybody that can eyeball something like that, measure something like that, and make it look so good, it's definitely Stuart. Now we have a trimmed floor, which just feels so much more finished than it did before. Step 2 of this process is going to be staining it. And today is a beautiful sunny day. We are actually at some friends slash business associates of Stuart's, and he's off doing truck stuff today, which is the perfect opportunity for me to get down and sand and stain the trim. I also need to touch up the paint in a couple of places where it's gotten scratched over time. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get into it. It's crazy to me after just 6 to 7 months of living in here how many little scrapes and scratches the paint has accumulated. A couple of videos ago I did mention that I want to look into getting some of that, I think it's like a poly-based clear coat that you can put over cabinets to help resist chipping, and that is still something that I definitely want to do at some point because this kind of thing is very time consuming. And in our last rig I would go around and touch up scratches and stuff probably every 3 to 6 months. It was a lot, because it just happens when you're living in a space. But you might have noticed that the bathroom door is missing. We had to take it off because it would have gotten in the way of the baseboard trim that we put down. But that is a very exciting project that I'm going to be tackling sometime within the next few weeks. And I'm really looking forward to it because there is going to be a door there, but it's going to be a little different than it was before, and I think it's going to be really unique and very functional. The way the door was before, swinging open, it swung right into the central pathway in our rig, and if you were standing at the sink, then it would be in the way, and it was not the best. And I think we found a workaround for it that's going to be a lot better, and I'm really excited about it, so stay tuned for that. But I am almost done with touching up everything, and that'll be nice. That's gonna feel good because I've been at it for a little while, but it looks really nice, and the stain matches the flooring nearly perfectly, which is also really awesome. So it's all coming along. She just loves hanging out all day long. That's all she wants to do. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but it's looking pretty finished in there. And we're a big fan, aren't we? Yeah, we're big fans. It's getting dark, so I don't want to show you what it looks like right now because it's not well lit. I will show you tomorrow. But it looks amazing, and we like it a lot. It's been a very productive afternoon. I thought a little bit of a coffee montage would be nice today because I feel like we haven't had one in a while, and we're kind of enjoying the fruits of all of our labor a little bit. Getting the floor trim in, the molding really makes everything feel so finished. It's crazy how far things have come. I took some pictures yesterday for a tiny house magazine that is featuring us, and looking at those pictures and seeing how everything looks now versus how it looked in the beginning, it's really wild what we've managed to accomplish, and I'm really proud of us. I feel like in so many ways this renovation, it's just the 2.0 on our last one. It's everything that we wanted our last one to be and so much more, because we're just more experienced now and we know more, and we learned things last time that we were able to apply this time. It feels really good. But I can't rest on my laurels too much. I do have a lot of work that I need to get done today. Living in a tiny space while you are renovating it is one thing. I think that makes you kind of crazy on its own. But then also renovating a tiny space while you are living in it, and while you are also like trying to run a small business in Stuart's case, and while you're going to school full time, which is the reality for both of us. It's a lot, and it can definitely feel like we are trying to juggle a few too many balls sometimes, but today I'm going to be getting caught up on a lot of the work that has kind of fallen by the wayside this past week. But there is one final thing before the video is over that I want to do, probably tomorrow or the next day. So I'm gonna get through what I need to get through today, get work done, and then tackle that final last little thing that I've been wanting to get to. The reason why I was so hellbent on getting baseboard installed was primarily because I wanted to protect the walls. In our last rig, we put baseboard down there too, but I made the mistake of painting it instead of staining it. And when the dogs would lay on the floor or our feet would bump up against it, just over the months and years that we were living in it, it started to chip up really, really bad. And it was a pain trying to keep it from continually chipping, trying to keep it looking nice. And I knew that we needed something in here because without it, then the dog's feet and our feet were bumping up and scratching the cabinets, and that paint was starting to chip and wear pretty bad. So we needed something there. Plus, with the way the flooring is installed, you have to leave a little bit of a gap along between the wall and the floor for expansion and contraction. And so we needed something to kind of cover that up too. This satisfies all of those wants and needs that I had, and it looks so good. I think it is the cherry on top of this whole thing. The thing that I am most impressed with, and this is just a huge shout out to Stuart and a testament to his skills and his abilities, is just how great of a job he did matching up everything around the rounded corners, which we have learned that rounded corners on a wall are known as bull nose corners, and there are techniques that you use to get everything to match up so that the baseboard looks natural. I knew Stuart could do it. It was not something either of us had ever tried to do, but I knew he could do it, and he did. We went with cedar 1x2s, and it really soaked up the stain like very, very well, and it ended up matching the color of our floor. So it feels very, very finished in here. We have maybe 2 or 3 projects left for the interior. They are a little bit more on the major side. Not all of them, but at least one of them is. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should, because there's more that we're going to be doing, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you guys. But because it is starting to feel so much more like a home in here, I went ahead and started to hang up some wall decor today. There is this piece behind me, which is actually a gift from a gentleman that was here at the park working with us. He wove that by hand, and when he gave it to us, he was like, "This is for you to put on your floors," like as a welcome mat basically. And I thought there's no way that that is going on the floor because it's so beautiful. And he called it a thorough mat, and I'll put the spelling on the screen, but it hails from a small island in Denmark, which is where his people come from. It's where his family is from, and he made us one and gave it to us as a like going away present whenever he left. So very, very special, very meaningful, and I really like the way that it looks. And there are a couple of other things that I have hung up as well, just because it feels like a home in here now. It feels like things are reaching more of a steady, finished state, and I think it's time to start adding some of those little touches that I had in our travel trailer. So it feels good. It feels like things are complete, even though there's always going to be lots that needs to be done, projects that we are going to be continuing to do. There is a sense that we have come over a little bit of a hump, and that feels really cool. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of the flooring and the baseboard and everything else that we have done. If you have installed a type of flooring like this, let me know what your experience has been. It's a little bit different installing it in something that's mobile like this than it is in a house, but since we were able to nail it down, I am not too worried about it. Everything feels very solid and I'm not concerned about anything. That is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I appreciate each and every one of you who has subscribed so far. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey. It means a lot. But that is it for me for now. I'll see you soon.